What is up, YouTube? This is Alex here from Team Generations, back again with another deck profile. Today we're looking at Dragonic Overlord, the Cross, or the X, whichever one you would like to call it. This is a list that is now tailored for the Divine Lightning Radiance / Bermuda meta coming up. I believe that this deck is pretty meta resistant. You can high roll your way to victory against pretty much anybody. I believe that this list kind of gives you the best chance to do that. We could see this list topping in a couple spots here and there out in the East where they're still holding tournaments, so pretty excited to bring you guys this spicy list. If you guys do enjoy the content, remember just to leave a like on the video and possibly consider subscribing to the channel. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video and get started. Alright, starting right off with our grade 3s, we are looking at 4 and 4, still the same classic combo over here. For the ends, for the crosses, Cross is always going to be our main Vanguard, our main ride target. We always want to be on him, we never really want to be on the end. The Cross enables us to Soul Blast 1 and then search out an end from our deck, put it into Soul, gain its abilities until the end of turn. And when you count cards in hand, the cards in hand are 0, and then if our opponent's Vanguard is on grade 3, we are able to always have a drive check go off, regardless of the end skill that says -1 drive. So really nice to restand a couple different times. This allows us to threaten our opponent over and over, really thin out their hand, and maybe take game. If you have this on Force 2 and you're swinging 3 times for the turn, you hit an extra crit onto your Vanguard, you can close out games really quick. This enables us to kind of just resist metas that shifts over and over. I feel like this card can pretty much always have a seat at the table. You can high roll your way to victory, like I mentioned, pretty easily. So yeah, I am taking this deck from a more like just grind and high roll to a more just like explode, get your first turn, kind of try to close out the game as quickly as possible. So I feel like that's the direction we need to take it in order to survive in this meta, and so that's what I did with my interpretation of this list. Again, this is just my kind of list. You guys can definitely change it up. Let me know what you would change, but going right into the grade 2s, this is where it starts to get a little spicy. This one is the normal unit that we always had, but a little bit later is the spice. This guy is Igniro Dragon. When placed, we can look at 7 cards from the top of our deck, reveal up to 1 Dragonic Overlord the Cross from among them, put it into our hand, and then shuffle our deck. So again, just looking to get that consistency off and really search out our Dragonic Overlords. We get the decked in. There's no cost, there's no discard cost for this card, which is really nice. And then its second skill is also pretty cool. On Rearguard Circle, when our Vanguard attacks, if our hand is 4 or less cards, it will always be that because of Dragonic Overlord the Cross's skill. This card gets an additional 5,000 till the end of turn, so if you swung 3 times with the Cross, this guy then becomes 25k unboosted, which is really nice. It becomes a nice little beater. There's a couple other support cards in here too that can make this an even more threatening column. It's nice too because let's say your opponent PGs your last Vanguard swing, they know they can't take it. Let's say you do rip a crit trigger, you can put that right on here, make this even bigger, and that's still a pretty difficult column to block. So yeah, running him at a 4 of that consistency and that little added beefiness is definitely nice. Still running 3 of these guys. This is Torrid Cannon Dragon. Its skill on Van or Rearguard Circle, once per turn, we can counterblast 1, put a normal unit from our drop zone to the bottom of our deck, and then choose one of our opponent's grade 2 or less rearguards, retire it, and if our hand has 4 or less cards, we get to draw a card. Pretty much again, we'll always have 4 or less cards because the Cross's skill. It's nice to just have it so that if like the game is just grinding on, you find that you can't close it out as quickly as you thought. You have a couple of these guys at the bottom, a couple of your the ends, either in your damage zone, your drop zone, you need a Soul Blast 1 out. You can put it onto the bottom of your deck and just have it there as a searchable target for the Cross, which is still nice. A little bit of spot removal, a little bit of draw. I still think this guy deserves a spot in the deck. You can bump him down if you wanted to maybe 2 to increase some of the other cards that I'm about to show you, but totally up to you. Take it as you will. Next up, we are running 2 of our Burn Rise Dragon. So super interesting card. At first, kind of skeptical on this card. Then I started just trying it out. I really liked it. I find that this guy helps end games a lot quicker than before when I wasn't running it. So we are running this guy at a 2 of on Rearguard Circle. When our Vanguard is stood by a card's ability, we can counterblast 1, discard a card from our hand, and this unit gets an additional 15,000 plus a crit until the end of turn. So this, in culmination with another 1 or 2 cards I'll show you in just a minute, really creates a super threatening column. It helps you close out games because if your opponent did guard out your Vanguard, it just became too threatening over and over. It's really hard to stop this guy. This card with another guy without any additional trigger power on it becomes a 45k column, so very powerful. I like this card. I'm running it at a 2 of, and just another closeout option that I am running this is 2 Meltstream Dragon. So kind of a weird, yeah, I think these guys are both promo cards if I'm not mistaken. So not a super typical card, but I think it does start to belong in the deck within the current meta. Its skill on rearguard circles: when it attacks a Vanguard, we can Soul Blast 1. This unit gets an additional 5,000 until the end of that battle, and then we can Counterblast 1, and it gets additional, it gets 15 instead of 5,000. So again, becoming a 25k column with other rearguards can be very, very threatening. This guy is on a Force 2. You know, if this is your second turn or something like that, and then you have a Burnrise column in the other column over here, or a Burnrise Dragon in the other column, you can just have an extremely threatening field. This is really like a 1-2 turn max kind of closeout build. We are looking to just power up our rearguard, get super powerful attacks off as much as we can with our Vanguard and with our rearguards. So yeah. And then to round off our grade 2s, I'm still running one of these guys. This is Wyvern Strike Decat. Came out with the end. Its skill on rearguard circle is we can Counterblast 1, put this into our soul, and choose one of our Dragonic Overlords at the ends when our opponent would call from his or her hand to rearguard circle, to Guardian Circle during the battle that this unit attacked this turn. Sorry. He or she must call 2 or more at the same time. So this basically helps us fix our soul a little bit if we need that extra soul blast. It puts that guard restrict on there, makes it very hard for our opponent to guard out our all of our attacks. I still think it can help you with games. It's not as necessary as it once was. This used to be more of like a kind of a grindy card in a way, but I feel like we need to just be as explosive as possible. It's not a bad card to run. You can bump this guy out completely if you wanted to, maybe move up Burnrise to like a 4 of by jumping and dropping another Torrid Cannon. I just kind of like the diversity right now, so I am running just one of them. So moving on to our grade 1s then, we are still looking to be as consistent as possible. So this guy still belongs in the deck in my opinion. This is Lava Flow Dragon. So unban our rearguard circle during our turn. If we have more rearguards than our opponent, we get an additional 5,000 till the, additional 5,000. So helps us boost 13k is nice. It's also the grade 3 searcher, obviously. You get to search the top 5, add a grade 3 to our hand, and then discard a card if we did add. So deck thinning is deck winning, as they say, and it's nice to kind of have this just ability just to search out your cross, just make this as consistent as possible, because if we don't ride the cross, we're gonna have a bad time. It can also work nice with Torrid Cannon Dragon. You can discard the end or whatever, and then pop Torrid Cannon, and then have it recycle that to the bottom of the deck. Moving on, we are now running this guy at a 4 of. I previously wasn't. This is a really good card. I know some people were always running it at a 4 of, but I feel like now it definitely is like a necessary 4 of. This is Calamity Tower Wyvern. On rearguard circle, we can Soul Blast 1, retire this unit. One of our Vanguards get 15,000 till the end of turn, so just really helping our Vanguard hit crazy numbers, making it even more threatening over and over. Your Vanguard unboosted with this card then becomes a 28k. Swinging on a Force 2 3 times is pretty difficult to block, and it just becomes a little bit more threatening. I definitely think this card is necessary in order for us to close out games as quickly as possible, as the theme of this deck. That's what the theme of this deck really is, so this card definitely helps us enable that. Moving on to our next grade 1, we are running 3 of these guys. This is Heat Shot Dragon. Heat Shot Dragon enables us to, when placed, we can discard a card from our hand and then draw a card. So I don't really like draw drops too much, or drop draws, so to speak. I think discarding first, not knowing what you're getting, really sucks, but not the worst thing in the world. Its skill on rearguard circle, for the main reason we really run this, is at the end of battle it boosted a grade 3. That unit is, if the unit is boosted is stood, we can stand this unit as well. So this really just belongs behind our Vanguard, doesn't work for any of our rear guards. I think it's nice just to constantly have a costless booster that just helps us hit a little bit more. Like if you put this behind the 28k Vanguard, this then becomes, what is that, 8? Yeah, that becomes 36k, which is, a lot more difficult than to block every single turn. I mean, every single attack. So yeah, I think this guy definitely belongs in the deck, still at a 3 of. And then to round off our grade 1s, we are running 2 of this girl, actually. This is Purple Gem Carbuncle. I think it's a girl at least. Once per turn on rearguard circle, when our Vanguard is stood, we can have this unit gain 15,000 until the end of turn. So this, in culmination with some of your grade 2 rearguards that really power up, just become really, really powerful overall. Again, making 45k columns with 2 crits plus is just really, really nice. Again, this is not really a cost associated with this card. I feel like this deck runs through Soul Blast and Counterblast kind of with a lot of other cards, so it was important for my grade 1 lineup not to do that. So yeah, and this really just helps us push for game 2. I find that this with Burn Rise has won me quite a few games. I'm really liking that combination. So I am including it at a 2 of. It sucks that it's a 5k body, but it is what it is. And this is really, oops, sorry. This is really the pinnacle of where this deck has evolved to. We are living the dream and running 16 crit. So we have no time for heals, we have no time for draws. We are just looking to get as aggressive as possible, run 16 crits. If you needed that, your opponent's at 3 damage, you needed that 1 extra crit and you hit a draw trigger instead, it really feels bad. So 16 crit is the way to go, I believe, in this deck. It helps us just close out games as quickly as possible. And of course, we are running a starter as well. You can run any starter you want. Undu. I'm just running, what is this, Lizard Soldier Conroe. So yeah, closing out games as quick as possible, maximum crit. We really want to be as aggressive as we can, and this helps us do so. So if you guys are enjoying the profile so far, please remember to leave a like and possibly consider subscribing to the channel. We have a lot of other deck profiles and playtesting coming up as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's jump into a test hand and get that started. Alright, let's shuffle up our deck over here and get a test hand going. Again, this deck is super resilient against different metas. I feel like you really have a chance high rolling against anybody, really. So if you're looking for a deck that'll stick around for a while, not just like phase out meta to meta, I feel like this guy definitely is a good contender for that. Very Kagero style, very Vanguard reliant. We are spicing it up a bit though, trying to focus a little bit more on some of our powerful rear guards, so let's see how it plays out in this one. Also, we got the Cardfight Con mat over here. Just sucks that it kind of, I don't know, the way it was shipped kind of got bent, but let's see if I can get those out. But really cool design. I like the Blaster Dark and the Overlord Dragon in the back, or Venom Blaster Dragon, whichever one it is. Alright, let's see. We got a decent hand overall here. We're just going to put the 2 triggers back and let's see what else we get. I do want another grade 2 though, because I don't want to ride that one. Let's see, 1, 2. Alright, we do get another grade 2, that's cool. So no triggers in hand, very lucky. Still got 16 of the boys in the deck, so let's see if we can rip any of them on our Vanguard swings. Alright, and as with all of our playtesting videos, we are going to assume that we go first. We're going to stand and draw. Let's ride this guy, draw off of the starter skill, and then look at top 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4, 5. No grade 3s there, but we kind of have the grade 3s need in our hand anyway, so no big deal. Alright. Let's proceed to pass it over to our opponent and take a damage for their turn. Boom. That damage shuts everything else off. Let us then draw for our turn. We are going to ride. Let's try Torrid Cannon. I'm not going to use this skill on this guy just because we don't have the 4 or less in our hand. As well as them just being on grade 1. We're assuming they just swung with the Vanguard. They don't really have any key pieces out yet. Yeah, let's do that. So let us swing. 10k, drive check. Boom, nothing. Alright, so we did get 2 of them in our hand. Wow. Over to our opponent. Let's assume we take 2 damage for their turn. Boom. And boom. Alright. Over to us, stand and draw. Oh wow, look at that. So we have 3 of the ends in our hand already. If we had that 4th damage out or whatever, it kind of would have been screwed, but yeah, luckily we didn't. So alright, let's get a force 2 marker. I'm going to use these little guys. These are some of the custom markers I made. If you guys want to check that out, I will link in the description a video. Kind of made this one like an Overlord themed color. A little goldish brown, little orange and such. Let's see, let's actually, let's see, how big can we string here? Let's do it. Let's go super big actually. Let's go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going for broke here. Yeah, I think that's how we're gonna do it. Maybe we can, I'm gonna put this actually behind my Vanguard and decide if I want it. Nah, let's put it there. Yeah, let's just do it. Alright, cool. I'm gonna Soul Blast 1 out. Let's get a Dragonic Overlord at the end from our deck, the last one. That's why Torrid Cannon does matter. If we can't close out this game, which hopefully we really can, yeah, we wouldn't have any left in deck, which would suck. So we gotta go for broke, so to speak. Alright, so now we gain all of his abilities. So last one, right? Yeah, dude. Yep, it is what it is. Let's go into it. Let's swing open up with our Vanguard. Boom. 1, 2, got 2 Igniros, no triggers, but we're gonna ditch 3 from our hand. Let's go 1, 2, 3. They're not really doing anything in our hand anyway. I'm gonna restand this guy with an additional 10k and a single drive. Let's swing again. Do rip a crit. I'm gonna put that crit on there. And I'm actually going to counterblast 1, soul blast 1. Gonna restand this guy. Now it will not have any drive checks, but this is for 3, and we're really trying to pepper our opponent here just to have our rear guards go off as strong as possible. So boom, we're swinging again, and opponent's not on grade 3, but that's fine. We're also going to use his ability when our Vanguard restood. Let's just say we had that. It's an additional crit and a 15k. Oof, wow. There we go. Let's just say this is a crit, that little gear cron. Whatever, just use the poopy dice. Alright, so now we're going to swing. This guy gets an additional 15, this guy gets a 15. I'm not going to, I don't have all my dice out. Let's see, what is this? 15, 25, 25, 45, 45 to crit. We're going to swing in, and then boom, we're also going to swing for, I think this is 45 also. We're going to counterblast 1, soul blast 1. This gets an additional 15. This guy gets an additional 15. That's 20 plus 25. Yeah, this is 45. So I mean, that was pretty much as ideal as it's going to get. We are looking to just push as soon as we can, get a super aggressive turn off. This was pretty much in practice exactly what I was preaching throughout the whole deck profile. We're looking to just be super aggressive, restanding our Vanguard 3 times, getting off super powerful rear guard columns. I think this is like the next iteration of the deck with those 16 crits. I think this is really the way to take it. So if you guys did learn anything, if you did enjoy it, again, please consider liking the video and leaving a subscription on our channel. I really appreciate it if you do. If you disagree with anything in the deck, please let me know. Always open to constructive criticism. I want to know what the best way to build these decks really are. This is just kind of my take on it, seeing some results that have come out, play testing with my friends. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and this is Alex from Team Generations signing out.